Welcome to another episode of Last Week's Comics Today. I am, once again, have a large week of comics. It seems to be alternating between large and small. This is one of the large ones. There are a couple of books that I skipped recently, so World's Finest and Predator. I will wait for a smaller week and probably pick those up. I'm not, it's a whole thing. Anyway. I'm just now noticing the size difference between these two logos, and like this is kind of, I don't know. It's a little weird. This blue is an extension, and you got, a similar red stripe here, but the reds don't match. Like, I don't know what's going on. But, Todd, please make more White Knight toys. Thank you. You have an opportunity to make another Batman, as well as Red Hood, and I know you love Red Hood. Enough about toys. So this issue is spectacular. Something happened last issue. Jack/Joker took over Batman's body for a little while. He wound up back at home. Or home? He's supposed to be in jail. It's a whole... You should be really reading this book. So Bruce breaks out of jail. He winds up going to Harley's. They have a conversation as Jack and Harley inside of Batman's body, and it ended in such a way that I wasn't entirely sure who was doing the talking and if Harley knew that Jack was the one speaking through Bruce's body. Anyway, all of that is addressed and resolved here. This is book 6. I believe it's an 8-issue series, so we have a couple of issues to go, but things are absolutely ramping up. And I'm going to show you some of the interior art, but I want to do it non-spoilery, so give me just a second. One of, for me, the highlights of this book is there is a showdown between Jason and Dick, and it's fantastic. And one of the things that I really enjoy about the White Knight universe is the reversal of the Robins. So in this universe, Jason came before Dick. It changes the dynamic in great ways. It adds all sorts of layers to their relationship, and I love it. We get this 2-page as well. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of history in those 2 pages. There's great stuff between Bruce and Jason and Dick, and there's some stuff, even though they're not always in the same scene, between Barbara and Dick. It's really good. This series, as always, I praise it highly, but this series is amazing. I love it. I want to point out, too, before I cut to the next book, ordinarily at the back we get a preview for next issue, and they must be trying to avoid spoilers, maybe, but instead, this issue, we get black and white scenes from this comic, not previews. So I found that interesting, and it does end in such a way. It's another cliffhanger ending, so I will impatiently wait for the next issue to come out, because this, I need to know what happens. I just need to know. Next up, we have Human Target issue 8, and I'm going to spoil something that happened back in issue 6, which came out many months ago because the book went on hiatus for a few months. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you are waiting for perhaps the collection of the entire series, then skip to the next chapter, because as I said, I'm going to spoil something that has happened that I have been avoiding talking about. But most of this issue is Christopher Chance versus Rocket Red, as seen here on the cover. It's really good. It's really good. But we get here, I think. Well, this is great. He keeps getting dropped from the sky. The first time he gets dropped from the sky. We get this here, which is a recap of everything that has happened, and the spoiler that I've been avoiding talking about is back in issue 6, Christopher and Ice killed Guy Gardner. It was intentional. It wasn't accidental. But they did hide his body afterward, and Rocket Red wants to know where Guy is. They are friends, and he is interrogating Christopher pretty brutally. well, as you saw, dropping him from the sky. So, this book is great. I'm loving this. This is, to me, one of the good Tom King books, not one of the ones where I'm questioning it. This is great. Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead. So this is Bruce Campbell and Eduardo Risso. I was very impressed with issue 1. Not too much happens this issue to push the story forward. I think it's set up, but I guess future issues will decide whether what I think is happening pans out or not. But we do get some, frankly, amazing Eduardo Risso art. I've been a longtime fan of this guy, and even just a boot on the clutch looks fantastic. But got eyes bulging out as the tire rolls over a guy's neck. It's amazing. So as I said, not much happens, but it is well written. The art is amazing. I love it. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. So I continue to recommend this book. I'm having an amazing time reading this. Axe to Grind, or Barbaric, Axe to Grind, issue 3. This is the end of the miniseries. The next miniseries, or series, starts in January. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that, because this is almost a Empire Strikes Back ending where you're like, oh, that didn't go how I expected. That's how you're choosing to end things. I very much want to know more. Want to know what happens next, because it's a hell of a cliffhanger to end on, but it's amazing. I still love it. I love this series in general. Volume 1 is already collected. Volume 2 possibly also being collected in January. Volume 3 starts in January. Get all of it, please. Please get it. I would like more. I would like to get more people reading this book so that I can enjoy it for longer. The art is spectacular. The writing is both funny and emotional and well done. Huge fan of this book. Highly recommend it. Firepower, issue 24. This is the end of an arc, and they needed some extra time to get this issue out, so there has been a bit of a break since issue 23, and because it's not at the end of an arc, there will be another break. The series is coming back in 2023. I don't know if they specify a date, but it will be going on another break before issue 25 comes out. So I don't want to show that page, but 2023, I don't see a month there. I don't see it. Anyway, it's coming back next year. This cover, possibly a spoiler. Things happen. Nothing is decided here, but the forces that have been fighting decide to break apart. They're going to regroup is ultimately what happens, as well as some other things which I am not talking about, but are featured on this cover. So I've been enjoying this book, and maybe I've thought about this for a while. I think I would enjoy it more in trade form rather than single issues, because I just don't think that much is happening on a per issue basis. And I kind of felt the same way about Invincible for a long time, and I felt the same way about Walking Dead. So maybe it's just Kirkman's decompressed storytelling. I think he reads better in trades rather than single issues. So I don't know. I'm not making any decisions yet about switching, but if you are undecided, I would recommend grabbing this in trade form rather than as single issues. But I will find something to show off that isn't a spoiler. Let's see. Actually, this fight right in the beginning is pretty good. So we've got Owen facing off against Snake Guy. I mean, this is basically Dragon Ball, right? Got more Dragon Ball there. Got a literal dragon that they're fighting on top of. And Owen is getting his ass kicked. He's dodging, but you can see all the art here. Sam Neill is a master. And I broadly recommend this, although, again, I think the trades would read better than single issues. Strange Academy is back. This is Strange Academy Finals Issue 1, and I believe the series is solicited up through Issue 4, possibly 5. I'm mildly concerned that Finals might turn out to only be a 6-issue series, but we shall see, I suppose. I did enjoy the hell out of Volume 1 of Strange Academy. I'm hoping this has a longer run than 6 issues, and I'm just wrong. But the way things read in those solicits, it sounds like things are wrapping up. And maybe that's just the arc. We'll see. This issue, because there has been a break since Volume 1, it has a lengthy recap here in the beginning about everything that has been happening at the school, what led to events, where things are now, and some battle lines get drawn this issue. The stage is set, one of the factions is prepared, the other faction doesn't even know what's coming, so that should be interesting to see how things pan out there. But I'm glad this is back. It's seemingly on a monthly schedule again, and nothing has been delayed yet, but this is only the first issue, so as always, we'll see what happens. But I'm enjoying it. I hope you give this a try. DC Mech issue 4. I was mildly excited for a second before I realized that Black Adam here was just an ad for the movie and he was not in the book. It would have been cool if he was in the book. But last issue, if things don't go well for the main Justice League Mech team, Superman winds up falling out of the sky. He crashes into Smallville, I guess expectedly. And it is now 6 weeks later. So people have been rebuilding their mechs, and there's this pretty good speech here between Flash and Wonder Woman. There are some origin stories this issue. It's good, but not too much happens. It's more gathering the band back together after a breakup and setting things up for the finale, I suppose. But it's good. It's not the best. I think so far issue 1 was the best of the series, but I'll see how it ends. Iron Cat issue 5. This is the end of the miniseries, so we get a conclusion to everything that has been happening with both Tony and Felicia's ex-girlfriends, and it's well done, and I'm looking forward to what happens next, because Jed McKay is continuing to write Black Cat, and I've been enjoying his stuff so far. Even the one-shot Mary Jane and Black Cat was highly enjoyable, so I want to see what happens next for everyone. It's stuff like this, and really I hope Hasbro is paying attention to this, and I would buy an Iron Cat. Oops. I'd buy an Iron Cat figure. Either, well, I think I like the black better, but I'd probably buy the red version too. No. I hope it's black. Black looks so much better. Anyway, things wrap up. They wrap up well, and it's good. Boogyman issue 2. So back in issue 1, we have one of the main characters here, this boy, and because of a home invasion, his parents wind up dying. They're killed. He is saved because of a boogeyman that is living in his house. And now the two of them are on the run because other supernatural creatures are after the two of them. And I intended, after reading issue 1, to check out what else this artist had done, because I was highly impressed. And I don't think I did, because I had the exact same thought after looking at this. So, really just very... It's kind of simple, but also, you know, it's very clear, everything that's happening. High action. There are emotional moments as well. It's really well done. Writing's great. Art is fantastic. I'm very much enjoying this book, and I hope other people give it a try as well. The Roadie is the next Supernatural book this week, because I will have another one right behind it. these two characters meet this issue. His ear looks kind of weird on this cover, like it's both too large and too high. But anyway, as I was saying, those two characters meet this issue. There was a pretty spectacular end to the first issue, and there are some repercussions for her this issue before he shows up. There is definitely initial mistrust, but by the end of the issue, the two of them are on the road together. I believe also this sets up the ultimate probable final boss fight, because I believe this is only a 4-issue series, but it's quite good, highly enjoyable. I'm having a good time. Lastly for the week is Damn Them All issue 1. This is the new Spurrier and Adlard series. This is also supernatural. She is essentially Constantine working for the mob. I've been keeping an eye out for anything Spurrier writes ever since Six Gun Gorilla. I have not done a video on this, but I highly recommend it. If you can find this, definitely get it. Do yourself a favor. I will review this at my earliest opportunity. But I loved this, and I at least try whatever Spurrier writes. The other one of his that I highly recommend is Coda. This is a 3-volume series, so get all of this. Do yourself a favor, once again. But anyway, this, as I said, she is essentially Constantine working for the mob. There is a lot of setup in here. I believe this is a 6-issue series, and I further believe that I already know who the ultimate bad guy is of the series. However, we'll see. I am regularly wrong, but it's Adlard on art. You should know what that looks like by now if you have read Walking Dead. This time he's in color, clearly. But she learned everything she knows about the supernatural from her uncle. This starts with his death, and things go wrong from there. Also, we get some of this lettering that is smaller, where it's in gray, and it's not the best example. So like this here, where stuff that's sort of under the breath is in gray. It's well done. I like pointing out well done lettering whenever I get the chance. There's also a couple of pages like this that remind me of something Hickman might have done. Heavy on words. I do recommend reading these as well. It helps inform the story. Sometimes, I don't know, people skip stuff like this, just read the comic, but this, it's hard to tell. This first issue is well done. I hope the rest of the series is as well done as this. I'm repeating myself quite often here, but we shall see. I am going to add this to my pull list if it isn't already. I think I only grabbed the first issue, but I will grab the rest of this, see how things pan out. It's good. I like it. I like crime. I like supernatural just fine. It seems right up my alley. It does feel, I think, a little bit obvious, but see where it goes. So that is everything that I got this week. As far as pick of the week, I think this is going to be difficult, but well, Barbaric is great. Human Target, ooh. Alright, I'm gonna give it a 3-way. Barbaric, Human Target, and Beyond the White Knight. I'm surprised 2 DC books made it this high, but they are both excellent. So that is everything that I got this week. As always, I get all of my stuff from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.